it's me. It's Catherine Massell, intuitive energy healer, spiritual growth catalyst, and ascending earth creatrix. Hello, hello, hello. I'm going to see if maybe I can share this in my group. That would be really, really nice if I could do that. Let's see if I can. Let's see. I wanted to go earlier, and it just didn't seem to happen. It's that busy kind of day. It's funny because Tuesdays and Wednesdays are, hey Christine, Tuesdays and Wednesdays are my day off. But it's interesting just how often I end up doing work on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. But I know that's when most of you guys are active. So I like to catch you guys when you're out and about and around and doing stuff. So hello. I want to follow up with the last couple days hey Maya, that I was coming to you ladies live. And I am sharing this in my group now, Ascending Earth Creatrix. If you're watching on Ascending Earth Creatrix group, please let me know because I want to know that I'm sharing that. And let me know you're here and say hi, just cause. So I'm following up today with the third talk. Last couple days, I think I did the first one on Saturday maybe. Hey Olivia, about knowing the difference between true and lasting transformation and change, right? Talking about what true and lasting transformation is. The keys, there's 3 big ones about getting there and maintaining true and lasting transformation, and the learning the art of the up level, which means that we keep transforming, we keep moving into different layers and levels of change. Hey Cheryl. And we do so without fearing the up level, without fearing that next level threshold and all the stuff that can come up when we do that, right? We go into deep subconscious patterns and programming sometimes of fear that keep us from feeling like we're safe and okay and it's right to up level, to move into that next layer or threshold of abundance, right? And then I talked about the fact that not all change is transformation. We can have change, we can have shifts, but I'm talking about transformation where it affects every single aspect of your life. It affects everything about who you are, the people in your life, your habits, your patterns, your go-to patterns of programming and behavior, the people in your life. This can affect career changes, big changes in platonic or romantic relationships, right? That's the difference between transformation and change. So if you didn't watch those, you can watch on my Facebook business page at Catherine Massell or Ascending Earth Creatrix and watch those videos. I'll give you more of an idea what I'm talking about today. So what is it's kind of like we're reverse engineering this stuff a little bit, because we need to pull back a little bit and talk about if you're interested in that up level. And when I say the art of the up level is to know that you want to achieve or move into accelerated levels of abundance. You want that next threshold, that next layer of abundance. We are always becoming, doing, having more, even more so as we are gaining very, very much traction on this path of ascension. We are learning that we have really limitless potential. And really the only thing that's limiting us is our lack of imagination or the inability to shift, the unwillingness to change, which is another video that I talked about, is what is your unwillingness to change costing you? So we can understand that we can be our own worst enemy with the up level and understand that in one aspect of who we are, we can be asking for an up level, we can be asking for that next layer of abundance, but at the same time, we're unwilling to give up some of those patterns and programming that are aligned with lack, limitation, or scarcity. We just are fearing the shift. And at the core of that, of any beliefs or programming where we just don't want to shift or don't even want to look at our stuff to begin with, it is fear-based. It is stuff that's so entrenched in the subconscious about what is known and what is unknown. We want to be safe. And it's the subconscious's job. The subconscious is not against us, but it is its job to keep us safe. to keep us in a place where we feel familiar. But we can allow ourselves to be slaves to this subconscious and allow it to completely be the puppeteer and control, essentially, the aspects of your life where you feel like, I could change, I could have this, but I'm terrified of what comes next. I'm terrified of not only change, but true and lasting transformation. That means everything that I've known, my whole identity, is different. Everything that was familiar or safe to me is going to be forever changed, right? That can grip us with fear. That can put us in a place where we are feeling, completely sidelined by our own subconscious. If we can understand that there's a relationship that can be established with the subconscious, we can understand things like self-sabotage. And when we are asking for the up level, all the things that come in, maybe we feel like we're making progress, we'll make some small changes and shifts, but we're not really going all in, going full bore into transformation because things will come up to sabotage us. Hi, Tanaya. Hi, Courtney. If you don't know what those self-sabotage patterns are, this stuff will run amok in your life and will thwart you every time. When you are asking for the up level, when you are asking for that next layer or threshold of abundance, this will bite you in the ass every single time. If you don't know what your self-sabotage patterns are, if you don't know where you go into that place of, okay, I'm starting to up level, I'm starting to get into that place where it's starting to feel unfamiliar. I'm making this my new normal, but it's scary. It's too scary. So I'm going to allow myself to have this much and maybe let that feel familiar for a little while, but I'm only going to let myself have this much. Because anything else I can't identify with. Anything else I don't feel familiar with. Anything else I don't feel safe with. Do you guys understand what I'm saying here? Is this making sense? If so, leave me a heart and let me know that you're totally jabbing with my vibe here. So, if you understand, then, if you go back and watch the video I did from a couple days ago, I think it was Saturday. I did one on Saturday and I did one on Monday. If you understand then, based on my talk, my discussion the other day about the full scope of true and lasting transformation, can you grasp the idea that all areas of your life will change? That means your love life, your finances, maybe even your career, your interpersonal relationship, the relationship you have with yourself, your personal relationships, friends, family, co-workers, etc. Your personal responsibility, your level of responsibility will change. Courtney says, I'm just coming off of a self-sabotage dip myself. Me too. And that's why I want to talk about this. Because it's so important right now. If we can understand that we can create some awareness around where we're self-sabotaging, know when these triggers are starting to put us into that mode of self-sabotage, and then we just understand it as a process going forward. And it's just every time we up level, we look for this stuff. We look for the patterns. We look for the programming that's been such a part of our behavior for so long, right? It's so important if you're asking for that next level of abundance. So if you understand that everything in your life is going to change with true and lasting transformation, as I said, your personal responsibility, family dynamics, they're going to change. Your career will probably change. You might find that you want to take a totally different career path. Your health is going to change. Your worldview is going to change. Your go-to energy patterns, all that stuff is going to change with true and lasting transformation. If you don't understand the full scope of that, there's a really good chance that you will have some self-sabotaging in there somewhere on one of those areas that I mentioned. Health, career, family, your interpersonal relationship, where you go into those patterns of self-doubt or feeling like you're not worthy, right? So be honest. When you think about the full scope of true and lasting transformation and how it affects every part of who you are, and I do mean every part of who you are, do you still want it? Do you still crave it? Or does it terrify the crap out of you? Be honest with yourself here, because if you're not honest with yourself, you're saying, well, then I don't have any self-sabotage patterns. I do want all that. I'm good with it. I'm good with it. I'm good with it. So if you were operating in that level of like self-delusion or self-denial, you are then not in a place where you can see those self-sabotage patterns that come up in your energy, if that makes sense. It's really important to understand what I talked about at the beginning here. Do you understand that whenever you ask for a new level of prosperity or abundance in your life, that you also call forth all the resistance to it. So anytime you're asking for that up level, that increase in your abundance, that next layer or threshold of prosperity in your life, do you understand that the second you create that intention, or as Abraham Hicks says, launch that rocket of desire, that you are also calling forth anything that lies in the way of getting it, of pulling it in, attracting it in your life? Because that's how the universe shows up. The universe shows up in many different ways in its loving support of you, but this is just one of the ways in which the universe shows up as your co-creator. The second you create that intention, I want more abundance, I want this particular manifestation, I want this in my life, then the universe says, great, I love you so much that I'm going to show you everything that is in the way of it. Your limiting lack mentality, your sabotage patterns, your feelings that align you with lack or scarcity, self-doubt, things that are coming up in your life that make you feel low self-worth, right? Sabrina says next level of stuff to clear comes up, great opportunity. It is what I call the gift in the garbage. Sometimes we ask for that next level of prosperity and it feels like, or it can seem like, the whole world is falling apart. But what's really happening is the universe is putting all that stuff that is your resistance, all your barriers, all your blocks to having that level of abundance, it's putting it front and center. So you can't deny it anymore. It's saying, here, I love you. I want you to work on this stuff so you can have that thing that you're asking for. That's what it is. And it feels like everything's falling apart. It feels like the universe doesn't have our back. It seems like some big cosmic joke again, and you're the butt of the joke, right? None of that is true. None of that is true. It's a unique gift, right? An opportunity, as Sabrina said, to work on your shit. Because it's all front and center. It's right there. You get to, sometimes you just see it all at once. Sometimes it'll come in more divine timing, which I had a really interesting realization of some past life karma that came up for me today when I was working with one of my symbols from my healing modality, Ascending Earth Reiki. I had a pattern come up as I was meditating this morning. I had, let me see if I can explain this in a short way, since brevity is not my thing. As I was meditating this morning, and I was using a couple symbols from my Ascending Earth Reiki modality. One is the karmic symbol, which is, well, I can't show it to you, but it's a karmic release symbol. So when you use this symbol, you're asking for all of the stuff to come up to the surface about where you're holding ancestral karma, where you're holding karmic contracts or soul contracts that are keeping you in a space of limitation or lack. And so I was working with that symbol and bringing that up, and I had an interesting flash, a memory, if you will, of me hiking up the Himalayas. And it was in an incarnation when I believe I was a woman. I think I was a woman. It felt very feminine. And that feeling like I couldn't catch my breath, and it was getting really cold, and I was feeling all these things as I was going into it, and I'm climbing up with a guide up the Himalayas, and I couldn't make it. The altitude was making me very sick, and I felt like I just could not go on. I had no strength. I couldn't catch my breath, and it was snowing. And I don't want to bum anybody out with this because I'm okay with it. I cleared the karma around it, and I brought in the lesson. I integrated the lesson from it. But I died up there. And that makes perfect sense because in this lifetime, I'm claustrophobic. In this lifetime, I often have a hard time catching my breath. I feel very cold a lot, even though I'm pretty active and have good circulation in my body. I'm often very, very cold. And I get a little freaked out when I get cold. But the other thing is I started to really go into this incarnation of who I was. I started to go into these feelings of, well, how is that affecting me here in this lifetime? And very quickly, the second I asked that question, it was that you have a really hard time finishing things. Because of that traumatic past shock, that past life experience that came up, the lesson hadn't been integrated, I guess, until today, because it feels like it's very integrated now. That my sabotage pattern is, or one of them, is that I have a really hard time finishing things. I'm a great starter. I will start stuff all day long. I love content. I love creating content. I love creating courses. But the last part of it, like finishing the course and saying, okay, now I can put this out to the world and continue to prosper and move into new levels of prosperity in my life when I create this course that is going to benefit so many people. It's going to be great. You and me both, sister, Courtney says. Sabrina says yes too. So I realized that my sabotage pattern is that I have a terror of finishing things. Because that, to me, in that past life experience, equated with death. That's huge, ladies. That is huge. So you can do one of two things when you go into this kind of realization, or you have this kind of revelation like I had today. You can go into the fear of it. You can lean into the fear of it and say, ooh, well, I'm never going to finish anything then. Or you go into that place of, okay, how do I integrate the lesson from this? So I instantly did a bunch of forgiveness work. I did the Ho'oponopono prayer. I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, and I love you. Focusing on different areas of my body and feeling into where I was feeling the pain and the trauma. Like I actually felt like my heart seized up like it was frozen, almost as if I was going back into it. And then I was like, I'm not reliving this. Creating that declaration and that intention, I'm not reliving this. I'm reviewing it so I can integrate the lesson, and then the fear went out of my body. I wasn't holding this in my body anymore. I asked to clear all the karmic contracts, anything that wasn't fully integrated as part of that karmic or soul contract. I asked to dissolve, clear, nullify, and release that karma, because that's the lesson has been learned. Thank you, universe. I don't need to go back there either. Or I don't need to go back there and recreate it. I'm done with the lesson. It's integrated. I've brought it into wholeness now. And I'm not holding on to that place or leaning into that place of fear with it. It was huge. I don't want to diminish how big this was for me. It was really, really big. And as I started to think about all those things, all those projects that I embarked upon over my lifetime, I'm 46 years old, so there's a lot. And how many things I did not complete. And how good it did feel, even though it made me feel a little unsafe, when I did finish things, or I did accomplish things, or I did succeed. But it always left me feeling a little unsafe. And I never really knew why until today. So here's the thing. We can create awareness around these self-sabotage patterns and really release ourselves from sometimes lifetimes of karma and all the associated low frequency vibrations, the emotions that we're carrying from that, from being in that place of fearing death or fearing limitation, fearing bodily harm, fearing mental or emotional harm, right? It can really, really be damaging unless you figure out ways to create this awareness, okay? So here's the thing. We all have sabotaging beliefs. We all have behaviors that sabotage us when we're asking for that next level of abundance. Often these things are completely unconscious, but they can be very predictable if you learn to start recognizing the patterns. And they will follow you throughout your journey of up-leveling unless you create the awareness and start working on these in a very tangible way. What is the comments here? Olivia says, I don't finish things either, so then you feel me, girl. Definitely a ton of karmic stuff, Sabrina says, has come up for me in the last few months. It's been amazing to clear it. Yes, it's so liberating. It is such an unburdening. So, the key is to find your self-sabotaging behaviors. But not only that, reverse engineer it a little bit and think about, what is it about up-leveling that scares you so much that it's that trigger for you to self-sabotage? It's that trigger for you to somehow cut yourself off by your own doing to that next layer or level of abundance. If you have a hard time with this, I have some help. Like I said, like I've said in these videos before when I go live, I never just present a problem to you and say, well, good luck with that. Figure it out. I'm all about solutions. I'm all about creating solutions. I'm a problem solver. That's me. So what I like to do is give you the tools to help you figure this stuff out, right? To, create the awareness on an ongoing basis of where you're doing this and how to nip it in the bud. So I have on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday next week. So April 30th, May 1st, and May 2nd. at 10 a.m. Pacific time. I'm going to be doing the 3-day energy reboot camp. It's going to be in my Ascending Earth Creatrix Facebook group. So I'll leave the link up here if you guys want to join. But it is going to be about, over 3 days' time, we're going to help you to identify what those triggers might be for the art of the up level is very, very nuanced. The art of the up level involves you knowing when you get triggered by when you're asking for that next level of abundance, but also seeing your sabotage patterns and being able to see, like, before they even start to crop up, like, that's going to be scary. I think I'm going to sabotage it this way. You can sabotage it by getting sick. You can sabotage it by, having a fight or an argument with somebody. You can sabotage it by procrastinating. You can sabotage it by deliberately messing something up. I've done this before, and it's messed up. And when I started to create the awareness of these patterns, I realized that's really messed up. I gotta stop that. So there's a lot of different ways that we can self-sabotage. So I'm going to help you with that. We're going to work on, that's going to be day 1. How to create the awareness around your self-sabotage patterns. What are your triggers? What makes you go into that place of feeling unsafe, unfamiliar, whatever? That is going to be day 1. We're also going to work on clearing some of the beliefs then. So we're going to do an energy reboot with your spirit, right? Your emotional and your spiritual energy. We're going to do some belief clearing around that on day 2. And then on day 3, we're going to help you reboot your mindset by bringing in some beliefs that you want to create as foundational beliefs. You want to lay a new foundation for helping you to, figure out those nuances of the art of the up level and to be okay with it and feel like you're safe. And you have a certain awareness of when you are up leveling some of the stuff that comes up. So you go into that mindset reboot. That's a very, very important thing, because whenever we do energy healing, we can clear the karma, we can clear the soul contracts, we can clear all the foundational beliefs or even the fragmentary beliefs that are attached to that. Hi, Backheart. But then what do you do with it? You must mentally follow it up with some mindset so that you have a firm foundational belief system in place to help you move into that next layer of abundance. And work on those nuances of the art of the up level makes you feel like, I got this. I'm going to up level. I'm going to ask for this new level of awareness. Here's the mindset I have to adopt. Here's the stuff that might come up for energy healing and clearing. Here's the ancestral karma or the karmic or soul contracts that are going to come up around this, and how to create awareness around all that stuff, like to know when it's happening, and how to ask for, from your higher self, your spiritual guides, your team, to help you recognize karmic and soul contracts that are limiting, that are keeping you stuck, that are aligned with lack, limitation, scarcity, loss, or grief, or sorrow even. So this is just a taste of what I'm offering. This is going to be just a taste of what I'm deep diving into in the 6-week Heal, Awaken, Align Bootcamp that starts on June 4th. So if you like this workshop, you are really going to like the bootcamp. But here's some extra good stuff. Is that if you show up 3 days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday next week, all 3 days live, and if you do hashtag Heal, Awaken, Align, and participate, because I'm going to have questions. If you're there live, you're participating, you using the hashtag Heal, Awaken, Align, and then there'll be some prompts for you to answer questions and be active with that. You will be eligible for some awesome, really super sweet giveaways and some discounts on this course, and maybe some of my other stuff too. But if you want to get on some of the discounts and the treats right now for Heal, Awaken, Align, the first 3 women that join up get a one-on-one session with me, a 1-hour one-on-one session where we work on your ancestral karma. We will extract some of your karmic and soul contracts, heal the energy of it, help you to realign with some mindset. I'll give you some mindset work and exercises to do that are really, really simple tweaks that you can use every day in your life. You're not reinventing the wheel here. You're not doing something that's going to take you 5 hours a day to do. These are simple mindset tweaks that I'll help you bring into your life, help you to set some foundational beliefs for the abundance and prosperity you want to bring in. The next 5 women that join after that, you will, if you join it, this is all if you join at the full payment price of $597, which is a steal for the 6-week shop. You will get the free 6-week course, my Sacred Feminine Manifestation Alignment, which is a self-study 6-week course with over 48 energetic healings in there and some belief work too. That will be a free bonus. And for the first 10 women who join overall, at the full payment price, you get an all-access pass to my Heal, Awaken, Ascend Mastermind. And that has over 80 energy healings, activations, attunements in there, and empowerments. So there is a payment plan also available, but you don't get any of these goodies if you join at the payment plan. But the link is katherinemissel.com/Heal, Awaken, Align. You can read the full description of the Heal, Awaken, Align Bootcamp and know what you're in for. And if you're jazzed with this and you want to work with me, this is going to be an amazing opportunity to not only create some real shifts, but to help you with long-lasting, sustained transformation in your life, because you'll have all the tools to keep maintaining a level of safe and familiar levels of transformation that feel good, but put you into that next threshold of prosperity every single time you up level. So if this speaks to you and you really want to know what your self-sabotage patterns are, maybe you already have an idea, but maybe you don't know how to deal with that, start joining me on Monday for the 3-day boot camp. You join all 3 days and you participate fully. You will be eligible for some great discounts, giveaways, and prizes. And who doesn't love prizes? So thanks for tuning in, ladies. Thank you for being here. Thanks for watching live. And I want to wish you so much love and light. Many blessings. Bye-bye.